The metal buildings are easier to build than a apartment complex, a
Yes.
retail strip center, an office tower, because you can do these in the county where zoning requirements are kind of not as stringent as within a municipality. So you can get a kit, a Mueller kit or something like that, where you get every panel, every bracket that you need, and you just put a slab down and put them together. It's relatively on the easier side of developing to get into compared to a lot of other commercial assets. With that and land cost outside the county, your land is a lot more cheaper than if you were in an infill location, say within the heart of downtown Dallas or Fort Worth.
Yes.
So it's a little bit easier for these groups to see the cost up front and get into something.
By a show of hands, how many of you make less than you think that you are worth? Why is that? It's time for you to put your foot down and say, enough. Luckily, you're here at the right time and the right place. The most wonderful real estate podcast ever is the path that you seek. I'm Dwanderful Twyford, and I have closed over 2,000 deals. I've been investing for over 30 years. I've seen all the markets. And I've done over $500 million worth of deals. I mean, think about that. $500 million worth of real estate. And I have a heart for you. I want you to walk my path with me. Your life is about to change. And do you know why? Because it's time to thrive in 25. Say it with me. It's time to thrive in 25. It's time to thrive to 25. Enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. I'm your host, Dwanderful Twyford. I'm America's most sought after real estate investor. And I'm really excited that you are here today. In case you haven't heard the news, the most wonderful real estate podcast ever just reached 1 million downloads. So thank you. And it's taken a couple of years. So why not in 25? Why don't we try to hit 2 million by the end of this year? So y'all got some work to do, but let's get to the 2 million mark and not take 5 years to do it. So how about that? But I'm super happy about the million. So I'm super thankful. And I appreciate your time. I have an awesome guest, Mr. Austin Middleton. How are you today? I'm sorry. Yeah, Edelmon. Okay, I make sure I said it right. Edelmon. How are you today, honey?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I love the brick walls. Is that in your office, or is that a background, or is that in where you are?
So it's our office. We have we're in a 100-year-old industrial building that was converted. So they kept some of the original touches. So yeah, we use it for the podcast and some of the stuff that we do online, just because it's rustic. It looks good.
It does. It does. My husband and I are rehabbing a bunch of buildings in Clinton, Iowa. And people put stuff over the brick, I think, like to modernize everything. And we're taking everything off. It's like, but the brick walls are so pretty.
Yeah, I mean, they're just iconic. They look good. And, a lot of people are trying to modernize it now and everything. So it takes away from the color and just, the years of history in them. So we like them a lot. A lot of people give us good feedback on it. It's better than the gray wall that I'm looking at.
With one of our buildings, someone came through in the 60s. This is a beautiful brick building. And they put some kind of metal squares, and they must have went through the whole downtown, because you can see all the buildings where they did it. So we decided to take it off last year, but you got to be careful, because you don't know if they just smashed through all the bricks and we took it off, and there was hardly any brick restoration that we had to do, and just, cleaned them up and got any little bit of that goopy stuff off. And man, everyone's like, your building looks so beautiful and fresh. It's like, because
it's all original
brick has been pressure washed, and it looks amazing. So I know everybody wants to modernize everything. It's like, just some things just need to be left alone.
Yeah, that's how we are. I mean,
that's
a lot of the stuff that we work on.
I almost bought one of those fake brick walls that do, and I thought no, because it'll look like fake brick, and I love it. So anyway, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you, Mr. Austin. So what we like to do over here at Dwanderful, everyone knows we're just going to have a conversation, like getting to know you. And we just want you to tell us in like a sentence or two, just tell us what you do. And I'm going to ask questions about, how you got there and just what you do and how to find you on all of your socials, emails, giveaways, whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty easy to find online. Everything's my name. So if you just type that into LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, any of those places, I'll pop up pretty quick. But basically, so I work in commercial real estate. We do investment sales. Our primary focus is small bay industrial complexes. So when you're driving around town, if you see like 4 to 10 buildings, metal construction, small units within each of those buildings. We sell those on the investment side. So we've got a large network across the U.S. We're based primarily out of DFW. We focus on a lot of the Texas markets. But that's what we do specifically is we sell these type of investments to individuals, funds, anybody across the U.S.
That's amazing. So then you have or find the buildings and then you sell them to people, or are you constructing them?
So we do a little bit of both. We started off just on the investment side. So we were just calling owners, getting in touch with them, giving them, criteria of what we've sold similar parks for in the past. And, kind of went through the process of getting them ready to list, market their facility, and sell it to, groups. But we have recently started getting into the development side. There's a lot of individuals, partnerships, cross asset buyers, anybody from retail, multifamily, office, some of that stuff that's been struggling for the last few years coming out of COVID. These guys, they primarily like to chase returns. So the small bay flex offers a lot better return in some instances and even more upside on rental rates and other key factors. So just with a lot of people wanting to get into this, we have begun partnering, working with individuals, groups that want to start building this for themselves and, either sell them off, keep growing their portfolios, whatever they want to do. We're just kind of helping them get the jump start on that side as well.
And so you help them if they want to build, you help them with the financing?
Yeah, so we can help out with financing. We're investment sales. The firm that we work for, Colliers International, they have loan originators, groups throughout the U.S. So we have put a lot of people in contact if they need help on the financing. But where we really, hone in with these groups as we start the process on the land side. So, these guys are looking for parcels that they want to buy. We do a world engine scenario, which just gives them a very brief overview, kind of highlights some of the key metrics, household income, population growth, number of businesses in the area, per capita spending, metrics that we like to see that we think these parks will do very well in for rent growth. So we kind of start that with them. We have them send us in land listings across the U.S. right now. We're working a lot of sites in New Jersey, North Carolina, Arizona. We kind of tend to stick away from California just because pricing is very aggressive out there.
And fires.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of things that
and the governor
push them away from. But yeah, we just, they're looking for anything from 1 acre up to 10 to 15, 20 acres. So if they're not too familiar with that area, we just want to give them something to have better understanding of that market going into.
So I've got 5 acres somewhere around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I'm like, hey, listen, I want to put something on here. I want to run something, build something, put a park, put whatever. How would I, what would be like my first couple questions? I find you because I listen to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. Like, hey, I want to do that. What would be the beginning process? I say, awesome, I got the land, it's paid for. I want to put a park on it.
Yeah, so in that case too, if you have already purchased the land, we would kind of run a model for you to show you what square footage you can build. A lot of these guys, 30% lot coverage is standard for the flex development side,
Yeah.
and depending on where you're at, the Houston market is one of the tougher ones because you have to incorporate some kind of detention pond, so it
Oh.
can limit the square footage that you're building. So basically what we would do is we would take the survey, we do a test fit model where we show you the number of buildings, a decent layout, and that will calculate your square footage. And then we can backtrack that into your exit cap rate, which is just a metric that investors use in order to show a rate of return on the income of a park they build.
Mm-hmm.
So we would do basically a pro forma financial model where we just put in a rent rate, if you're reimbursing triple nets, what you could pass through to the tenants and utilize for income as well, back out the expenses, and then we kind of show them, hey, say if you built 45,000 square feet, your exit number would be X amount of dollars.
Nice.
And that just kind of helps them understand, if it's economical sense for them, construction cost wise, and then if their exit is going to net them money, or if it gets a little hairy and maybe they're running closer to their expenses.
I got it. So when the people build these parks, and most of them do it with the intention to sell it for a profit, or are they like, hey, I'm gonna rent these spaces out, I'm gonna keep this in my portfolio as long-term commercial rental income?
So it all depends right now. The majority of the groups that we're working with, they are looking to either build several and build out a portfolio and then sell that to a larger group.
That's a
Some of the
good
guys,
idea.
I mean, if they want to look at it, they get in through the building process, they get it completed, and then they say, hey, a couple of the units that I leased out are a little under market and I want to get those up to market rate, then they can hold on to it. We're in the business where we don't really want to lead anybody and force them to
Oh
sell if
yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to. So, we've definitely had several groups that have gone through all the steps, say, hey, we completed this. We really like it. It's cash flowing great. We're just going to hold on to it. And, there's nothing wrong with that. You put in all that work and effort and got it up and running. It's, your pride and joy. So if they want to hold on to it, they're more than welcome to. But a lot of the people that we are talking to that have just kind of entered the space,
Mm-hmm.
they are looking, they want to start small. So they build 5 to 15,000 square feet.
Yep.
They want to sell that. And then hopefully the chances of them building another one where they can just, do a ladder stair step and continue building larger parks, and they get comfortable. And then they do the portfolio with something that's branded. All the facilities look the same, similar size square footage complexes. So we like anywhere from 50 to 75,000 square feet is kind of the sweet spot for the largest buyer pool. And, if you got 3 or 4 of those, bundled them together, your exit pricing would be pretty nice on a
No,
sale
it
like
would
that.
be. It would be. Well, I love what you do. I don't know if I've interviewed anyone that helps build out these parks for people to turn around and sell. I'm just trying to think. I think you might be the first person I've interviewed that does this exact concept.
Well, it's just, it's an asset class that has gotten really competitive, and there's a lot of people that are interested in getting into it. The metal buildings are, I wouldn't say easy to build, but they're easier to build than a apartment complex, a
Yes.
retail strip center, an office tower, because you can do these in the county where zoning requirements are kind of not as stringent as within a municipality. So you can get a kit. A lot of these metal construction buildings are a Mueller kit or something like that, where you get every panel, every bracket that you need, and you just put a slab down and put them together.
And put them
So
together.
yeah, so it's relatively on the easier side of developing to get into, compared to a lot of other commercial assets. So
Yeah.
with that and land cost outside the county, your land is a lot more cheaper than if you were in an infill location, say within the heart of downtown Dallas or Fort Worth.
Yes.
So it's a little bit easier for these groups to, see the cost up front and get into something.
Yeah, I love it. My husband and I, we live on 10 acres, and out in back behind our house, we need like a building. So this year we've been looking around all these buildings. You just like pour a slab, have somebody come, just construct a big giant building that we can pull in our trains and our four wheelers and all of the things that we have. And so we've been looking around a lot the last couple of years at these people that just like, as long as you have the slab, they'll just boom, boom, you got a building just like in a couple of days.
Oh, yeah. And that's when you look on the outskirts of the DFW market, a lot of homes are kind of like that, where they're situated on 5 to 10 acres. And a lot of people want that. They've got the huge barn in their backyard. They have, a little bar set where they can hang out with their buddies, the TV, have all the games on. And then they've got their cars, motorcycles, RVs, ATVs, you name it, just parked in there. So it's a lot easier than a storage unit, because they can literally walk out their back door with their bags and, hop in the RV and go cross country.
Exactly. We have that. We have an RV. We do a lot of construction on old buildings. So my husband's got cranes, so many cranes. I'm like, why do we really need so many things? And backhoes and the bobcats. And they sit out. We're in Colorado. They sit out and, they're covered and stuff. I was like, listen, you got to put a building, because the backyard is starting to look like, I don't know, like a pick and pull. You got a million things out there. You got stacks of wood. You've got compressors of every size on demand. I'm like, honestly, it looks like people should come shopping in the backyard. So I am like, put up a building.
Well, that's what's great about these small bay spaces as well, because it's a lot of contractors, developers, automotive guys. And a lot of the times, if their business is not occupying the entire space, they will use a portion of this for storage as well.
Yeah.
We've seen that a lot lately, where, yard space is a concept that a lot of these parks are moving to. So say you have a 2,000 square foot unit with an office and a restroom in it. The individual or company, they run their business out of that, but then they add on a yard space and they store trailers, bulldozers, anything and everything under the sun. And they like it because it's, secure, it's fenced in and everything, has good lighting, and they make it a part of themselves, where it's not just their business, but it's also a place where they can, keep items that they want protected as well.
Yep.
So
yeah, no, I'm with you. Just, a couple of months ago, I was like, hey, I'm riding my four-wheeler. Well, I'm going to go for snow, and I'm going to go four-wheeling. And then it doesn't start, and then it's got this much snow on it. By the time I get it scraped off and clean, jump the battery, I'm like, I'm freezing outside.
Yeah. You're already done with it.
I'm done for the day. Now, my husband does most of that, but, I like to be a little self-sufficient and all that. And I was like, man. So then I was like, it's screw it. I said, get a building. So I'm kind of like, so I love the fact that you're building like commercial, and building things with the metal like that. It is cheaper construction.
Yes.
People that want to get into it, they can get into it. Not that it's cheaper made, but like it's less expensive.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at infill product, a lot of that is your masonry or tilt wall construction. The prices of concrete have been going up drastically. So it's just, it's easy to maintain. They come in pretty standard colors, but obviously if you wanted to put flair on it, you could do a paint scheme, kind of spruce it up a little bit.
I'd have to make mine pink.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a great look for it, because what a lot of these parks look like are they're dark natural tones. So, you've got gray, tan, black is a big one. But if we've got a group that we worked with on the north side of Fort Worth, and they bought a park that was, dust tan, real dirty. They went in and painted the exteriors a silver metallic with a neon blue door.
Oh,
And
man.
he was able to increase rental rates. He converted a lot of tenants to triple net.
Oh,
So
yeah.
even something that small of a cosmetic thing can help out drastically on these facilities. And,
Yeah.
the investment game is all about income. So if you can increase it at a lower basis, then, that's the best way to play it.
Yeah, as we had this little town in Clinton, Iowa, where we bought a bunch of old buildings. My husband's from there. We started restoring these buildings, and I'm like, listen, you're doing all this work on the inside, which we need to get done, but the outside looks like the same old ratty building. I'm like, let's go put some lipstick on it. So the outside looks like that building with the gray and stuff, whatever. So put some lipstick on it outside, so then people want to look in the window and see what's happening on the inside.
Yeah.
I want to get the inside done first. And I'm like, dude. So last summer, I made him all summer. I said, I want every building we've got. I said, go put some lipstick on it. So he spent the whole summer painting and changing colors and doing things. And then all of a sudden it was in the newspaper, people coming by. What are you guys doing? What's going on?
Had a fan base start
That's
up.
it. That's what you got to do, man. You got to bougie it up a little bit on the outside. Now, how long has your company been doing this?
So me and my partners, we've been doing this for about 20 years.
Wow, nice.
Yes. So we started out in DFW. We've kind of started working our way through some of the larger Texas markets, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. And over the past year or so, we wrote a book, and then we've started to help these guys get into the development side. So that's what's really helped us get nationwide.
Yeah.
But this is the book.
Let's do the book.
Flex Space Domination.
It's
available on Amazon. You can get a hard copy, or you can do a download version. But it was basically, we were going and meeting with a lot of these groups, and they were all asking the same questions. So we just wrote a guideline basically of, if you want to get into the flex space, here's how to acquire land. Here's how to, find rental rates in your market. Here's how to do the financing. It's a step-by-step guide that just gives you a whirlwind of everything that you needed to know to get into it. And it's a pretty light read. We just wrote
Hold
it
your
after
book up
work.
again so we can all see it. I like it. Flex Space Domination. I love it. It's great. That's great.
But, me and a couple of guys, we just wrote it. So we don't have any background in, being an author or anything. So it's a very easy
on Amazon
read.
And people are reading it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So It's been great success. Everybody that reads it, they reach out and they said, hey, I picked up some tidbit in here that I didn't even think of. So it's just, even if you're experienced, like, maybe you run across something in there that you never thought of. So it's just a helpful guide that we wanted to put together for these guys that maybe don't have a lot of experience, but want to get more comfortable.
I'm going to read it. This is a portion of real estate that I don't teach or do, or if someone says, hey, I'm interested in that, I always need people to send people to, if it's outside of my realm. And I can help people if they want to buy a commercial building that's already there. But all of this I don't do this at all. So that's why I like to introduce my Dwanderfulness of my audience to all the different things, because there's so many avenues of real estate investing.
Oh, yeah. And that's why, we talk to a lot of people that, they want to look at single family residential, doing a build to rent concept. We focus primarily on the flex industrial small base stuff. So we don't mess with any of the other, areas. We are honed in on this. We see growth paths with it moving forward. So anybody that wants to get into this space, we're the go-to group.
Yeah, the go-to people. I always love interviewing the go-to person. Yeah. Go-to person is the top of the food chain. So I love that. I trust that you are loving the podcast. Hey, Do you really want to become a super kick-ass superstar real estate investor? Really? 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 All right, why don't you spend the next minute and just take my real estate investing quiz. Super fast, super quick. It'll let you know where you stand on your journey. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to dwanderful.com. And back to the show. Okay, I want to ask you. We're gonna jump off topic, and we're gonna get to know you a little bit. So, Austin, what is your favorite band of all time?
Favorite band of all time, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, good choice.
My dad, we grew up driving into Austin, and every time we got in the frequency, there was a KLBJ was the classic rock station.
Yes.
We would turn that on and drive in listening to whoever. So I grew
I
up
was going
on
to ask
that.
you. I said Led Zeppelin. I bet you because you're too young to be in Led Zeppelin era. But I
Yeah.
bet you it was your mom or your dad.
Oh yeah, he taught me everything about music, so it just grew into what I
Yeah, but
listen
Led
to
Zeppelin's
now.
such a great band. You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
My husband and I, well, I'm 66, and so we have grandkids. So we're teaching our grandkids about, because today's music, honestly, you know, let's just be honest, it sucks. There's so much
It's not really
cursing.
it's
It's
not
like
really
it's not even
music.
music. They're synthesized. And what is that? So
Yeah.
we have these 4 grandkids that are 10, 8, 5, and 3. So we're teaching them all the musicians from the 70s.
Nice.
Everyone from the set, and I mean, they know Tom Petty, and not like a song or two, like an entire CD. They know Tom Petty. They know the Beatles. They know who Led Zeppelin is. They know Queen.
Ooh,
I mean,
nice.
and they go to school and they'll be like, you know, my one little grandson's always walking around. We will.
Yeah.
He's fine. And his teacher's like, "What are you having?" He goes, "Oh, that's Queen. We will rock
Yeah.
you." And they're like, "You know, my Mimi and Pappy are teaching me all the cool music."
All the good stuff.
Yeah, because you know, I'm like my daughter, she's like, "Well, teach him Taylor Swift." I'm like, "Girl,
Yeah, no way.
I'm not."
I've got my son just turned 1, so on the way to daycare, I try to rotate through the classic rock playlist, some
Yes.
blues, just like good music to have him start to listen and know the rhythms and be like,
Yes.
okay, this is better than, you know, the new version of the Backstreet Boys
And
or
you're Texas.
whoever's
You got
popular.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I listen
God.
to all
Like, who
that.
doesn't
So
love Stevie Ray?
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
when we started working, because we listen to music all the time, and we started listening, I said, you know, honey, if you really go past the 70s, in the 70s, people, there was no cursing in this music. I mean, maybe once in a while they used the word damn or something, but 80s was still pretty clean. But from then on, man, the music, there's so much. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want my kids walking around singing, MF,
Yeah.
like they're not ever going to learn that from me.
Yeah.
So we are sticking to the 70s, as I know for sure the music was clean.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and it was, oh God, the music was so good then. Everyone could
That's
actually.
why my dad always talks about the concerts that he went to. And it's
Yeah.
just like, man, I wish I could have been there for those because it's all the bands that I, you know, grew up with, but
Yeah.
never got a chance to see in person. So
Yeah, now
when you watch like the reruns of their concerts on like DVD or whatnot, it's just not the same. Like
It's
it
not the
doesn't matter
same.
what speakers you have, it'll never be like standing, you know, 3 rows back while they're playing
It's not.
Stairway to Heaven or something.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
Yeah.
Stairway to Heaven is one of my favorite songs. I know they're like, everyone's like, oh, these are the 2 cheesiest songs, but I swear, I think Stairway to Heaven and Dream On are still today.
Yeah.
I just feel like I get goosebumps even
Yeah.
just thinking about it. I love them. But I am very lucky that when I was in my teens, I went to every concert and have continued to still go to concerts. And like when people that are older bands, like Styx was touring recently with REO and Journey, it's like I go see them again and again and again. And I told my husband, I said, you know, I don't think there's a handful of like big bands that were in the 70s that I haven't seen at least. So I've seen the Stones 3 times. He's like, man,
Nice.
I said, well, I know, but I loved music. And when they came to town, me and my girlfriends, we saw everything.
Yeah. Oh
Everybody.
yeah.
And even still now, you know, we took my granddaughter last summer to see Pat Benatar.
Ooh, nice.
She's touring around. I haven't seen her in 100 years. She's in her 70s. I was like, let's go see Pat Benatar. I swear to God, she just sings exactly like she's saying.
Yeah, see, that's because like none of them ever had the auto tune and all that stuff that alters their voice.
I
So,
know.
they're just singing from the heart, and that's what keeps them going for all these
Yeah.
years.
And I was
It's
like,
like the Rolling Stones, they still jump around on the stage when they're playing their
oh, they do.
concerts. So
They
it's like
do.
that's what they're good at, and it keeps them
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I always say I like to ask people about their band because you can tell a lot about people by the music they listen to. I feel like, and people connect. I feel like music is one of the things that connects people worldwide, whether you speak the same language or not, because music is like universal. There are songs that universally people love, people cry, people are sad. Like music brings out emotions and stuff. And I've interviewed a few people that like, I don't listen to music. I have no bands. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? You have, oh, I don't really listen to any music ever. It's like, what? Who raised you? Were you raised by
Yeah.
people? How do you
What do
not
you
know
what do you
music?
do then?
What is happening? The first time it ever
I
happened
have
to
my
me,
Spotify open when I'm working,
I did.
when I'm in the car, when I'm at the house cooking dinner, like it's always going. So I can't live without music.
I'm
I
with
mean,
you. I was out there earlier putting together a patio set and I had my music full blast. I found a channel that plays all the hits in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And in the 80s, I was really into the disco-y and like
oh,
10
nice.
disco songs in a row. And I'm sure that my neighbors were like, she's just dancing in her patio, putting together furniture. I'm just dancing and dancing, using like the pole for a mic. And my neighbors
Having
were like,
fun.
the hell's wrong with Dwan? It's like, oh man, I got disco on, man. That Led Zeppelin for sure. It's like, ooh, it's good. What about food? What's your favorite thing to eat?
So I'm from Texas, so Tex-Mex is the go-to.
Gotta be.
Enchiladas, tacos, queso, margaritas. It's starting to get good patio weather right now out here. So like
Yeah,
set mid 70s, low 80s. So it's nice to, go grab some chips and salsa with a couple margaritas after work.
yeah, yeah. Me too. I'm all about that too. Now, I always like to ask people this person. So, what is your favorite time of the day? Where's your time in the day where you're like, ah, this is my happy moment?
Probably just when I get home, my wife, she picks up our son early and then we get him to the house. I get off work, get to feed him dinner, spend some quality time with him, get him ready for bed and everything. So, right now, that's my favorite time just because he's so young. It's like
Mhm.
a good time. He's at daycare all day. So it's just like get home, decompress a little bit, just have fun with him and hang out.
Yeah, I agree. When your kids are little, and especially when they learn to walk and talk, they're like, Daddy, with their little arms and running at you. It's like, oh, my heart. Like my grandkids like, Mimi. When they run to me, it's like my heart still melts. It's like, oh,
Yeah. That's what he just started standing up. So he's doing that and wanting to be held and he's going, Dad, 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 Dad. So that's been really exciting for
I
us.
will give you some unsolicited advice. Really take the time because I'm telling you that fast, I'm asking you for the car keys. And you're going to be
I
like, what the hell just happened here?
That's yeah, within the last year I've already been surprised by how quick it's gone and that's
It's,
only been 12 months. So
it's so
I
fast,
can't even imagine the elementary years, the teenage years and
so fast.
next thing you know it's like they're going to college and you're like, "Wait a minute. Where'd the time go?" So
It's
that's
fast.
just been our biggest thing right now is spend as much time with him as possible.
Yep.
We took him out to the pickleball courts yesterday and
Oh,
he
fun.
was so excited, watching us play and just, zoned in on it. So hopefully we'll be able to, bond over sports and stuff like that as he
Yeah, yeah,
continues
yeah.
growing.
I just read a study recently, and not to really go super off topic, but it said that like mom is the one that when kids are little, like the hug and the mom, because mom makes them feel safe. But it said the time they spend with dad playing is part of what shapes that is like almost more important because the playing time and the sport, whatever you're doing outside, but the playing with dad, that's what helps them build testosterone and endorphins and serotonin. And they said if you do nothing else as a dad, play with your kids every day and every day outside as much as you can, because that builds a piece of their brain that mom can't build.
I could see that. I mean, I have this little game where I kind of like, swing him back and forth, and then I toss him into a pillow, and
Oh
I
yeah.
make like this sound, like I go whoosh, whoosh. And as soon as he hears that, he starts laughing. So he likes the rough house. He wants to be active outdoors. So that shouldn't be a problem building all those things up with him.
It
Because
does. I follow this psychologist when they're talking about, because like, boomers raise their kids one ways, then X did, millennial, everybody raised their kids different ways, but they said through all the decades and studying this and that, that the playtime with dad is something that mom, they don't get it from mom, it's only from dad, but it has to do with like their testosterone and their leveling serotonin and dopamine and all that stuff. But they said dads need to roughhouse with their boys or girls. The roughhousing with dad is a whole side of their personality that's only where they get it from.
it's a builder, so you got to do a little bit of something. you
They got
you,
to,
you
man.
have to you have to get them strong, so that's the best way.
I'm with you. Kids are the great. We're so rough with our grandkids. Oh my Lord. I'm just like, I hope we don't kill them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got them out like hammering nails and building decks. I mean, they're like 5 years old. They got their own tool belt. They're working. And
Hey, as soon as my son's old enough, I'm gonna put him to work.
yeah,
So
they
I
love
mean,
it.
it builds confidence.
They
So you
love
got to
it.
do something. You can't just let him sit around on a screen. So that's what we
Yeah,
want him to be active
yeah.
outdoors, and stay away from the TV as much as possible.
Thank goodness my kids came up before the screen time, but my grandkids are like, they know at Mimi Pappy's, there's no screen time at all for anything ever. You're either playing, hanging out, we're doing a concert, or listening to music, eating, we're playing, or we're in the hot tub. There's zero, don't even bring them over because you can't watch them.
Yeah.
Bring them over. They'll stay 8, 9 days and they don't even care.
Really? Oh, that's good. I mean,
I don't let them. They just know that's the rule. They come here, they can't do it. And because,
yeah,
then they're like, they always cry about their screen. It's like, no, I'm too old
yeah.
school for that. I won't make you go get a switch off the tree. That's ours,
And
right?
don't
The
bring
Southern,
don't
I was going
bring
to say
the
Southern parents.
smallest one.
All right. So, what is your next big goal in your business, and how can the Dwanderful people help you reach your next big goal?
So our big goal is right now just trying to get our name out there as far as we
Okay.
can. We've been really excited about joining these podcasts and just being able to talk about our business, the book that we wrote, and just
Yeah.
get people that maybe might have a sliver of wanting to get into the space.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps push them over a little bit to say, hey, here's somebody that seems to know what they're talking about, has good ideas, reach out to them. And that's been our biggest push right now because we're trying to go to the national scale.
Yes.
And, that's what our next process is taking this coast to coast. So,
Nice.
we really enjoy being on these and getting to know the host and just getting our brand out there. So that's where we're at this point in time.
I am excited. So everyone on my Dwanderful family, just check them out. And Austin, so it's Edelmon, just so you get it right and go to all the socials and check it out because I think the flex space is I think it's a great space. I don't know a lot about it, which is why I'm happy to have you on here today because I also need to learn about things like that too. And
Well, don't worry. Right after this, I'm going to get a book in the mail to you. So we'll have a copy ready for you to read, and just let us know your thoughts and what you
sign
think
it,
of it.
spell my name right.
Yeah.
DWA. And I'll do a video.
I'm not that
Got my
popular yet,
book.
so I don't know if my signature will help out at all, but
Yeah, but when you're
we'll
rich
get you
and
a hard
famous and
copy.
you're way at the top of the food chain, I'll be like,
Yeah.
I have a signature.
Yeah. But yeah, we also Flex Parks USA is our website. It has a lot of good stuff on there from different types of, building models, blog posts, just general articles about the Flex Industrial product. So, that's also another hub where you can go in and get a lot of information if you're looking at this stuff specifically.
To say it again,
FlexParksUSA.com.
FlexParksUSA.com. FlexParksUSA.com. And so for my team doing the show notes, put this at the top of the show notes too. FlexParksUSA.com. Yeah, I like all your stuff throughout because some people like, just read a paragraph of the show notes to decide if they want to listen or not. So I like all your stuff at the top. So,
Yeah.
well, I have really enjoyed getting to know you. You're like super fun and, you got a baby and you love what's up. And I mean, who doesn't love that?
Yeah, I know. I try to keep everything simple in my life. So hopefully, it pays off. But I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me on today. And, hope the listeners enjoy the episode and take a snippet out of it.
Oh, I will. So I'm going to say goodbye to the audience, but you hang on for a second. All right. So everyone, so again, thank you so much for spending your time. I always like to thank my guests as well as my listeners because time is your most valuable asset. And when you are out of time, you're literally out of time. So we always appreciate people like you that spend time with us and also my audience. Also, folks, if you had fun today, you laughed, you learned anything, go to Dwanderful.com, Dwanderful. I took Dwanderful, made a new word. So go to Dwanderful.com and opt in and take my free real estate investing quiz. It's super fun. You should take it. You'll love it. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and write something because that is how I'm going to be able to get 2 million downloads, and I cannot do it without you. So, guys, we'll see you back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And remember that the truth is in the red letters. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
I am so glad that you stuck around. I almost forgot to tell you. In addition to having this amazing educational podcast, I'm now able to work with you one-on-one. Yes, one-on-one, you and me working together and have a 3-deal guarantee. 3-deal guarantee that you'll close 3 deals. So you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Take the quiz. Go to Dwanderful.com. Take the real estate investing quiz. See you on the other side.